Hi guys, today I'm gonna tell you about something that seems not so important at the first sight, about settings in Mobile Legends. You will find out how strongly, but at the same time imperceptibly, settings affect the gameplay. We won't waste time in vain. Let's go. This episode is like one big puzzle that we will definitely put together at the end, so I advise you not to rewind the video for not to miss the point. We start with aiming method. There are three types: free aim, advanced aim and lock-on aim. Looking ahead, as practice shown, the most optimal aiming method is advanced aim, which allows you to attack minions or creeps and to attack turrets when you want to. However, Mobile Legends developers don't specify to us that when using a basic attack, we'll have an enemy hero in priority and not a turret or a creep. It means that in some situations we shouldn't use basic attack, for example, being in enemy turret range, because we'll get an extra damage from the turret, which is undesirable. Among all aiming methods, advanced aim gives you some opportunities that you should be aware of. When enemy turret is low HP and there is an enemy hero near it who isn't dangerous to you, for example a tank, you can easily and without any problems destroy the turret first by using the turret attack. There are also situations where it's better to focus on creeps first. For example, when enemy tries to destroy a turret, creep attack will help you to solve this problem. Free aim doesn't give you such opportunities at all, and I don't recommend to use it. The last aiming method is lock-on aim, which allows you to toggle heroes or to toggle between minions and creeps. Seems to be simple and useful, but the problem is that you won't have so much time to toggle. Mobile Legends is a very dynamic game and battles are very fleeting here. Very often the outcome of the battle is decided in a few seconds. To win, you need to make decisions and act quickly. Lock-on aim makes it unreal. The next feature I want to tell you about is targeting priority. There are lowest HP percent, lowest HP and closest target. Many of you will find this extremely simple, but don't jump to conclusions, guys. You will understand everything later. I advise you to be very attentive now. How does lowest HP percent work? Layla on the left has 5k HP. Layla on the right has 2k HP. But this Layla has less HP in percent, that's why all your skills and all basic attacks will hit her. Lowest HP works in other way. Your skills and basic attacks will be directed to the enemy with the lowest current HP in units, so to the Layla with 2k HP on the right. Closest target seems to be the simplest priority, but it's not in real. With basic attacks everything is correct, you will attack the closest enemy to you, but with skills, for reasons unknown to me, something is wrong. When using skills, they are automatically directing to the enemy with the lowest HP percent and not to the closest enemy. This fact can ruin many situations in battles, and now I will show you some examples to understand. This is an enemy mage and this is an enemy tank. You try to kill a mage at first, you do some basic attacks and after it you use your first skill. But take a look, where is the skill directed to? Now you probably lost a free kill. Or one more example. You're chasing some enemy while playing Selene. You use the second skill, after which the arrow flies to no one knows where. It's for sure incorrect mechanics and there can be a lot of similar situations with different heroes. This fact, I mean closest target incorrect mechanics, which I have shown, completely ruins the concept of auto-casting skills in Mobile Legends. By the way, auto-casting, in theory, is possible only while using closest target priority, because it's almost impossible to make auto-casting comfortable and correct with other targeting priorities. Everyone who plays Mobile Legends use skills by auto-casting from time to time, and as practice shown, it's really not the best idea in most situations. But imagine, if closest target priority worked correctly with skills, auto-casting could be useful for many players, because it would help to save precious time. Not in all, but in some situations. Mobile Legends is a very dynamic game, where every second counts. However, as you already know, due to the fact of closest target incorrect mechanics, it's better not to use autocast at all. Before we move on to the next features, I want to tell you which hero classes, what targeting priority is better to use. This is my personal opinion, my experience, but perhaps it might be useful for some of you. There are some fundamental things in Mobile Legends. Assassins are highly mobile heroes that focus on vulnerable enemies as well as low HP enemies in battles to kill them with high possibility. Their task is to deprive the enemy team of their main weapon. Fighters are the heroes who are always at the epicenter of the battle. They control enemies, take and deal damage. Most often fighters focus on those they can reach, because they don't have high mobility. Marksmen are the heroes who try to keep their distance and not to put themselves at risk while dealing devastating damage to enemies. In most situations, they focus on who their teammates are focusing on, if the enemy is in marksman's attack range. Based on this, you can think and come to some conclusions who among these hero classes should use what targeting priority. Depending on the assassin's specifics, lowest HP priority would be the best choice for them. Lowest HP percent isn't suitable, and I will explain why. You will often hit, for example, a tank whose 25% of HP is equal to 2500 units, then to hit a mage whose 27% of HP is equal to 1400 units. In case with fighters, I would advise you to use closest target. Fighters focus on the enemies they can reach, as I've said before, that's why closest target is optimal. Situation with marksmen is quite interesting, but it seems to me that lowest HP percent is the most effective. As you already know, marksmen attack enemies who their teammates attack. They follow their teammates. And lowest HP percent priority makes such following real and simple. You may choose lowest HP, but it isn't the best option. Why? There can be some situation when, for example, an enemy low HP mage is in your attack range, but he is quite far from you. At the same time, there is an enemy hero, let it be fighter with very high damage, which is especially dangerous to you. And this enemy is nearer to you than mentioned low HP mage. So if you use lowest HP priority, you will undesirably moving in this direction when you will use basic attacks, thereby taking a big risk to be killed by this enemy hero. Closest target isn't the best option too. Imagine situation where there is full HP tank between you and low HP assassin. I hope everything is clear. Of course, in a whole there are some exceptions such as Carry, Moscow, Wenban, who is better to use closest target. Or Aldous, who needs lowest HP priority because of specifics of his passive skill. The more kills he does, the more stacks and in conclusion more damage he has. Same situation with Matty's ultimate skill, he needs to duelist hit. Maybe there are some exceptions, so now it's your turn, guys, to analyze your main hero capabilities and choose the best targeting priority. You know everything you need. By the way, for heroes from tank, mage and support class, targeting priority isn't so important. But there are two exceptions, Lunox and Gattatkachya. Playing Lunox, it's better to use lowest HP percent priority because of dark form of her ultimate. And playing Gatta, closest target is the best options because of his passive skill. I'm sure some of you want to tell me that there is a hero lock mod which will solve all the problems in all the situations. Okay, but are there many among you who can quickly and accurately use hero lock mod in fleeting battles in Mobile Legends? I hope you understood that both you and me aren't superhumans. Targeting priority and hero lock mod only complement each other and not replace. Now, even more information about hero lock mod. This feature allows you to lock on the desired enemy, after which all basic attacks and all skills will be directed to him, regardless of which targeting priority you use. This feature is important for all marksmen and several other heroes such as Selena, Phoveus, Herod, Lalita, Zask, Chou and Kaja. When performing a combo, Selena can hit the wrong enemy, same with Lalita's first skill, Herod's basic attacks during his ultimate, and with Zask Nightmaric Spawn. Phoveus in his turn will jump on random enemies, which is undesirable. Kaja and Chou can focus on wrong enemy while using their ultimates. Playing other heroes and heroes such as Frank, Eudora, Saber and so on, you don't really need to activate and to use hero lock mod, because you can manually choose the enemy to hit. With the rest of features, everything is quite simple. Skill smart targeting and basic attack smart targeting aren't so smart in fact. In my opinion, such targeting wasn't implemented successfully. You have to direct everything very accurately, which requires both good concentration and some time. In Mobile Legends, I repeat once again, with its dynamics, this is impossible or just hard to implement. Camera shift is useful feature which helps you to use your skills more comfortable. Assisted aiming mode makes aiming more comfortable too. Attack assist will help you to chase enemies who you were attacking and who went out of your basic attack range. Joystick position is different for everyone. Play as you wish. I play with fixed position. I advise you not to turn on auto upgrade and auto buy. Think with your head when and what item to buy as well as when and what skill to upgrade. HP shift is the feature which allows you to see turret HP in such way. It helps to control situation better. HP lock, as for me, is useless feature. It shows enemy's HP for some time after attacking him. The next feature is skill wheels setup. There are many different opinions about how this works in real, and I want to tell you right now. Don't believe people who say that they have found their optimal or the best sensitivity, and thanks to this, now they are much more comfortable playing Fanny. It doesn't actually affect Fanny's second skill. You can test it by yourselves. This feature affects only the skills such as Selina's Abyssal Trap, Nana's Malina, Johit's Ejector and so on, so it affects those skills that can be directed to a certain area. And that's all. Guys, two last features you can set up as you wish. I hope this episode helped you to understand how important settings are and allowed you to take a look at Mobile Legends from another angle. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for not to miss the next episodes. See you guys!